only one bidder for Zyon Grand, even though it's at a prime district near River Valley. And yes, CDL got it cheaper than its neighbouring project. But why? It's not what most people think, and I'll explain in the video. Welcome back to another episode of Project Analysis series where we break down the key details that truly matters to help you make confident decisions before committing to any projects. If you are in the market, you will know that Zyon Grand is launching in a very highly competitive window alongside with several other projects around the same time. At the time of viewing, Sky at Holland's preview has already started and the booking is on the 11th of October. Next, we will have Penrith and Faber Residences. Preview starts on the 3rd of October and booking both on the 18th of October. Zyon Grand preview date has been confirmed starting on the 8th of October and the booking date is on the 25th of October. If you'd like to have a deeper look at some of the other projects, I've already done a full analysis videos on Penrith and Sky at Holland. You can check those out on my channel after this video or I'll be linking them below. Beyond just project review, I also share contents to help families and buyers make more informed and intentional property decisions. Let's dive right into today's topic. I will be talking about an overview on Zyon Grand, the story of why is there only one bidder, the service apartment component. Will the developer sell low just because they bidded the land price at a low? Is there an oversupply issue and how can we strategize? And of course, I'll finally end off with the layout analysis. Zyon Grand's architect is actually Nikken Sike. Nikken Sike is founded in 1900. It is a Japan-based global architectural design firm. Their portfolio is pretty wild. We have iconic projects around the world, includes Tokyo Skytree, Singapore Rail Corridor Master Plan, One Zah Abil in Dubai, and Shanghai Greenland Center. For Zyon Grand, the architect is actually inspired by our Singapore's national flower. So if you were to look at the facade of Zyon Grand, we do see all this curvature over here that flows very nicely. And together with the two level of 62 story, it looks very grand. You really have to come down to the show flat, you need to take a look. I don't think I have to explain much on where Zyon Grand is. If you are in the market, you know where Promenade Peak is, you know where River Green is. It is all around the same area, especially Promenade Peak. It is just right behind the same plot. Zyon Grand, we have direct access to Havelock MRT, and just one stop away we have Great Wall, which is where Promenade Peak is supposedly nearer to, and one stop the other side we will reach Outram Interchange, where you are able to switch to several different lines such as the East-West line, North-East line, and of course where we are TEL. And just two stops away you will reach Orchard Interchange, where you have Ion, and along the whole of shopping belt over there, 4 stops to Marina Bay. So if you're talking about connectivity of Zyon Grand, definitely top notch. These are some artist impression of Zyon Grand. 62 stories tower, and we have this service apartment over here. So all in all, if you were to drive past Kim Sing Road, you will be seeing 3 magnificent towers. And the night view, this is what we were told. The lights over here will actually be lighted up. It is definitely very eye-catching and so hard to miss if you live around this area or just simply passing by. And these are some artist impression of the facilities. Moving on to the project information, Zyon Grand is made up of 2 blocks of 62-story residential development and 1 tower of 36-story service apartments with restaurants, supermarket, and early childhood development center right below. So from what I'm hearing is there will be 22 commercial shops just directly right below the residential blocks and directly connected to Havelock MRT. I find that Zyon Grand is one of the development that has it all. And in fact, the location where it is situated is also within 1 km to River Valley Primary School. It is sitting on a very rare large site of 164 square feet. And of course, our concept architect Nikken Sike and our project architect ADTP. This is the unit mix of Zyon Grand, starting from 1 bed plus study and all the way to 5 bedder and penthouse. There are 2 penthouses. This is the distribution chart of Zyon Grand, starting from level 2 all the way up to level 62, and in the middle at level 43 we have the altitude lounge, and also level 22 we have the horizon vista, and all these are the facilities deck. I would like to highlight to you stack 1, you will see different color from level 44 onwards. It is because from level 2 up to level 42, it is the 4-bedder. But just for this particular stack, you will be seeing that from level 44 to 61, it will be the 5-bedder unit with private lift. On stack 8 over here, you can see that level 2 all the way to level 42 is actually a 4-bedder, and for level 44 onwards, it becomes the bigger 4-bedder. Other than that, for the other unit types, you have the choice of level 2 all the way up to level 62. This is actually something great for buyers with budget coming in. They potentially may still be able to get a unit for own stay if they want a bigger unit, for example, a 4-bedder, yet they don't have to add on the premium of buying just the higher floor onwards, unlike Promenade Peak. For Promenade Peak, their bigger unit types starts from only 44 level all the way up to 62, whereas for Zyon Grand, for their 4-bedder with private lift, they also start from level 2 onwards. So this is a site plan over here. One thing that I really want to highlight to you, because of 2 blocks, even though we have 700 over units, per block there are only 6 stacks. Promenade Peak has 12 and River Green has 15. The reason why is because there's only one tower. That's why all the units are being squeezed into that one tower. Whereas for Zyon Grand, I think that it is being distributed very fairly. For 12 units in a level, how long is your walkway before you walk from one end to the other end? And that feeling, it feels more like a hostel compared to a proper, very homely kind of residential. That is my personal opinion. Moving on to its surrounding, Zyon Grand is surrounded by a few HDB as well as the older condos over there. I have stated the number of stories over here. For example, Tribeca, estimated 30 story, and further down we have Riviere, 36, Mirage Tower, 33. So if you would like to have a clearer picture on what level to clear in order to have a better view, you can reach out to me and we can have a discussion on that. You might be wondering, why was there only one bidder for Zyon Road plot? It's not that the land itself is not attractive. In fact, the location is prime. But here's the catch. This site comes with a SA2 component that is required by the government. This means that developer who takes it on isn't just building and selling the residential condos. They also need to operate a long-stay service apartment block, which we call SA2. So for any developer to make this work, 2 things are essential. Deep hospitality experience, because running the SA2 is more like running a hotel business than just building homes. And they need to have, because the SA2 portion can't be sold by unit and it must be operated long-term, tying up capital. That's a different ball game from a normal condo launch, and it explains why only a developer like CDL with both financial strength and hospitality track record can step up to take on this plot. Recently at Springleaf Residence, just right beside, there was also a plot that there was 0 bidder. Nobody bidded for it because there's also a SA2 requirement. So this is where we see where the market is heading, what is the developers thinking, and this plot being taken up by a renowned developer like CDL, it also shows that they do see an opportunity right over here. So what exactly is the SA2 that I've been talking about? It is Service Apartment 2, which was implemented on the 4th December 2023, very recently. It's actually a new pilot housing scheme introduced by URA, designed for long-term stay service apartment. So some key parameters that for SA2 would be their minimum stay duration is 3 months and the minimum unit size 35 square meters. Strata subdivision is not allowed, so it must be wholly owned. So developer must manage the entire block as a single operator. So it's not the same as your regular condo unit, and that adds to the complexity. So the intention is to actually expand housing choices. For example, people who needs rental accommodation for just a few months, like working professionals, they just come over here for an assignment, for students who are on exchange, or for foreigners relocating, and also some of us needs a place because we are currently renovating our place. This SA2 gives people more housing options. Now here's the key thing. Just because CDL secured this plot at a lower land price doesn't mean they're going to sell Zyon Grand cheap, okay? Because the SA2 components come with risk and ongoing costs, so they still want to protect their margins. As we know that SA2 was just launched recently, and this is a new and untested long stay concept. This is also a primary reason for the lack of bids. There is also an uncertainty in demand because this pilot initiative requires the unit with minimum stay, and developers are still uncertain about the potential uptake compared to the traditional residential or short stay service apartment. Taking on the SA2 also means there is reduced saleable area. You can't strata title and sell. This means that developer cannot monetize SA2 units upfront through residential sales, unlike the condo portion where they can collect the sales proceeds quickly. Therefore, it becomes a capital-intensive, income-only asset that ties up cash flow. Also, there is a high capital and operating cost because for SA2, it must be delivered fully furnished with hotel-like fittings. This raises the upfront cost compared to bare residential units for sale. But what this lower land cost does give CDL is what I call a margin advantage over the others. It means that they have the flexibility to price the project correctly. If a developer buys a land at a high cost, they are forced to push up prices no matter what. But because the developer entered at a cheaper land cost compared to the surrounding sites, they now have the space to price Zyon Grand more attractively if they choose to, without immediately squeezing their profits. So while this doesn't guarantee bargain prices, it does give the developer the strategic room to launch at the right level, which could make all the difference for buyers. Here's another interesting angle. Zyon Grand goes up to level 62, and this is what I call the 62-story advantage. Looking at the price trend, comparing Promenade Peak and River Green, Promenade Peak also go all the way up to level 60 and River Green only up to level 36. If you were to look at their starting PSF, Promenade Peak starts from 2006 all the way to 3006 PSF, and River Green starts from 3000 all the way up to 3006 PSF. It seems like in this location, developers are trying to cap their highest floor unit at 3006 PSF. If you look at Promenade Peak, which also goes all the way up to 62, it gives the developer space to spread out the PSF across more levels, and potentially it means lower starting quantum, as we can see in Promenade Peak versus level 36 in River Green. So same thing for Zyon Grand. If the developer is going to keep the maximum highest PSF at 3006, this means that developer for Zyon Grand is able to keep the top floors unit PSF acceptable while still having attractive entry price for buyers coming in for their lower floor unit. Moving on to the next concern on the ground, oversupply. By the time Zyon Grand launched, we are looking at around 2,876 units in the River Valley area, including River Modern and the upcoming Parcel C. With so much competition in the River Valley area, developer will need to price competitively to sell well at launch. For buyers, this means that there is an opportunity for you to get an attractive entry price. But for resale down the line, you have to be strategic because oversupply can limit your price growth. That's why it's very important for you to identify the traits that makes a profitable condo in an oversupply environment. In my previous Penreefs video, I actually shared on the 4 main character of profitable projects. Number 1, layout. Number 2, reputable builder, developer, land size, and visibility. A project with these 4 traits makes it the top of mind for buyers who are entering in that location. And Zyon Grand does have this edge. Layout and developers, CDL does have a very strong track record as well as building very functional layouts. Land size. Sizable land size of 164 square feet with regular shape, allowing proper facilities and design. Last thing, visibility. You have 2 towers of 62 story and 1 more tower over here, 36 story. And these 3 towers are flanked by 3 major roads over here. You can see this is Zyon Grand. We have Kim Seng Road, Zyon Road, as well as Havelock Road. It makes it impossible to miss Zyon Grand if you were looking around this area. Lastly, I would like to touch on the layout analysis. The smallest unit type in Zyon Grand is the 1+ study. 1+ study, it has a size of 474 square feet situated at this stack. Block 5, Stack 11, north facing, there are only 59 units. One thing to take note of is there is no balcony. So the good thing is that you have the full livable space. As this is a harmonized project, we are not considering aircon latch. So full 474 are your internal livable space. A galley kitchen as well as one study area that is tucked at a corner. A regular shaped layout. This study area, you can use it as a storage. And there you have it. This is our 1+ study. And the next layout is 2 bedroom. For 2 bed, 1 bath, Its size is at 538, and same thing, there is no balcony. This is situated at Block 3, Stack 5, inward facing, also only 59 units. There is a galley kitchen. It has a proper dining over here up to 4-seater. As there is no balcony, just like the 1+ study unit, you get to enjoy the full livable space of 538 square feet. For the next 2-bedder premium at 646 square feet, this is a usual conventional layout. It is not a dumbbell layout, situated at Block 5, Stack 12. One good thing to take note of is the master bathroom has a window because this unit is situated at the side. Next, we have the bigger 2-bedder, which is 2+ study at 721 square feet. So this is situated at 2 blocks, Block 3 and Block 5. In total, 118 units. So you do have more choices if you are looking at 2+ study. So for this 721 square feet, what do we get? You have an L-shaped kitchen right over here, and you have a study area at the entrance. This study area, of course, right at the entrance, you can use it as a storage space as well. And the common bath is not linked to the common bedroom too. Nowadays, most of the time, we do see the common bath having a jet engine feature. So in this case, the developer did not include that. Moving on to the next unit type, 3-bedder. For Zyon Grand's 3-bedder compact, there are two sizes, 818 as well as 861. For 818, there is a galley kitchen, and for a 3-bedder compact to have a 6-seater, it is definitely well thought out because for 3-bedder, mainly I would say that is for family, and family dining, they need at least a 6-seater to feel comfortable. You have to take note of their bedroom 3. Bedroom 3's orientation is in the way whereby the window is actually slightly smaller compared to the rest. So it might be slightly darker, but other than that, it is still a very regular layout. But I want to highlight to you 861, which is their 3-bedroom deluxe, also a compact but slightly bigger than 818. You have privacy coming in, you have a proper enclosable kitchen with window, sliding door, as well as a glass panel over here, which means natural ventilation, natural brightness. You have a 6-seater well thought out window in both bathrooms, the master as well as the common. So same thing over here, the common bath is not linked to any of the common rooms. So if you were to compare these two layouts, I would definitely think that 861 is a better layout because what we are having here is an enclosable kitchen compared to a galley kitchen, which is already a very big premium. The kitchen is very proper with window, glass panel, and even a sliding door. So it is a proper enclosed kitchen. And on top of that, their bedroom 3 compared to 818's bedroom 3 is a full proper window, whereas I've mentioned previously, this one is only slightly smaller, so this might be darker. For 818, there is no window in bathroom 2, whereas in 861, you have window in both bathrooms. So to me, I find that 861 is definitely a lot more superior compared to 818. And the fun fact over here is that 818 is actually the size of 2+ study at Riviere, and it has already transacted above 2.5 million. So if Zyon Grand were to launch at 2008, their 818 will be launching at 2.29 million, and their 861 is 2.4 million, which is still below the highest transacted at Riviere's 2+ study. And if you were to go higher at 3000 PSF, for their 818 square feet, it has not touched 2.5 million yet, and for their 861, it's about 2.583. So this is one thing that you have to take note if you're considering 3-bedder, because with a slight top up, you might be able to enter into a more premium layout. And one good thing over here is also there are more units of 3-bedroom deluxe. So it means you have more choice. Moving on to the 3-bedroom premium plus study, we have 1055 right over here, and we also have 1076. They have a proper home shelter, a proper kitchen that is definitely larger compared to the 3 compact, and it comes with a WC with window and kitchen with window. They have a proper 6-seater. I believe you have a lot of space over here that if you want, you can even turn it around and have an 8-seater. And you have a dumbbell unit. One of the bedroom 3 is over on the left side of the living, and the other 2 rooms are on the right side. One interesting thing about Zyon Grand's 3-bedroom premium plus study is you realize that the study area is over here. If you want to, you can also incorporate this study into part of the living, and it gives you a very big landscape living space. So same thing for 1076. I don't think there's so much of a difference. And also, if you're looking at the living space, the study is also incorporated as part of the living, living, you can try to enclose it, partition up, or leave it as it is. If you try to enclose it, there's a door here. Moving on to the 4-bedder, we do have 4-bedroom premium, and it comes with a private lift. Looking at the layout, it is very grand. I especially love this kitchen area over here. You have a utility with window. That's one thing. That's the first thing that we actually realized. This layout for a 4-bedroom premium with private lift is very proper. For people who are going for this size, they definitely would enjoy a very luxurious of space in their living area where they can host their guests. And with this dry kitchen over here, they have the luxury of this whole space to host their guests. You can also see that in the master bedroom, we have a walk-in wardrobe. I don't see any his and her sink and bathtub in this 4-bedroom premium, but other than that, I do think that it is very decent and premium. So there is also another type of 4-bedder, 4-bedroom supreme with private lift. So for the 4-bedroom supreme, whatever is lacking in the previous one, they have it here. Grand walk-in wardrobe that leads you to a master bath with his and her sink as well as a bathtub. And also same thing, you get to enjoy this luxurious space because of how they built the kitchen, the dry kitchen area, as well as the landscape living. Moving on to the next 4-bedroom supreme plus study, also with private lift. If you feel that the previous layout is not good enough for you, you still want some space at home for your study area, then you can go for the next layout, which is 1615 square feet. Same thing, it has this kitchen, which is great. I don't think there's any need for them to switch the design of this. They have the grand master bedroom, walk-in wardrobe, bathtub, his and her sink, and we can see that there is a study area over here, which is right outside the junior master. So if you feel that you want to have a bigger junior master, you can also put a door over here and you will get to enjoy the whole space here. Moving on to the 5-bedder, this is what we call 5-bedder supreme, and it is at a size of 1,819. I don't think there's a need to change the kitchen, which they did not, which is good. For the master, you have an extremely long walk-in wardrobe compared to the previous layouts. You have a very luxurious master bath, his and her sink, and a bathtub. It shouldn't be lacking because the previous 4-bedroom already has it. And on top of that, your junior master and one more bedroom is tucked on the other side. Moving on to the last unit type, penthouses, I will just show you how grand a penthouse is, but there are only 2 units, so I will not be dwelling too much on it. If you'd like to have more info, you can reach out to me privately. So that's my full breakdown on Zyon Grand, its challenges, its strengths, and what you as a buyer need to consider. So if you'd like to see the show flat, discuss your options, or just have a personal consultation, scan the QR code and you can WhatsApp me directly. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the next launch. Bye!